welcome back to my channel, and this is another truth reading. Now I say this so often, I'm not really sure where this is going. I've got a whole list of things. As far as I've been shown, things that are really kicking off, and I mean in the physical world and in the spiritual sense, energetic sense. You'll probably know more about what's in this reading than I do right now. I literally have no idea at all. I've got this huge list, so I don't know what we'll manage to get through, what we won't manage to get through. Hopefully I'm going to try and put into some timestamps here in case you're just interested in a little part of what I'm talking about today. But I do have a little story before we get started. Now, what I'm asking for here is I want to start off with a global consciousness reading, because world consciousness update is how I put it. World consciousness update. I was told last time that it had all gone quiet in the world around us, the physical kind of awakening, because it was being quietened down so that we could all work on our conscious awareness. And boy, have I been pushed hard to work on my conscious awareness. And as you know with things, it's like, you know, once you get started, once you get in the habit of doing things, it's kind of like it gets easier and easier, doesn't it? Well, perhaps not easier and easier, but quicker and quicker. So I've kind of been pushing forward. I hope you all have too. So I really kind of wanted to know what the spirits have to say about the current consciousness, kind of vibrational awareness, a vibrational spiritual awakening of the planet, of our lovely Gaia. Not Gaia herself. We know she's awakening. I mean, people, you know what I mean. I know you know what I mean. I'm rambling a little bit now. But I have a little story to tell while I'm laying the cards. I have a little story to tell. I wasn't actually going to be recording at all this week. I've got a little video. It's like a sneak preview of my one of my videos from my membership site, from my website, starlightworkcircle.com, if you're interested. And but I realised that I wouldn't. I've actually already recorded it, but I wouldn't be able to kind of edit it and put it out until the membership course was actually edited. And I have a lot going on personally, and I'm just really not able to kind of get to that right now. So I kind of swiftly had to decide I was going to do this reading. I mean, I knew there was a couple of things that had come up. I wanted to look at this global spiritual awakening, how that's going in the world. And I've been seeing Donald Trump come up a lot as well. There's been some other stuff coming up, but I'll get to that in a second. Let's have a look at this. Now, oddly enough, as I was talking there, I was just told we're at 30%. Now, that might not seem a lot, but I know what they're talking about here is not just, oh, I'm being called to be awakening, but they're talking specifically here about specifically connecting in with spirit and getting into alignment. Now, I know it's a process, but they're saying it's a huge leap forward. Now, I'm actually recording this on the 8th of the 8th, yeah, the Lionsgate portal, and I've kind of been really pushed forward until this point. And I get that this is a marker. They've just said to me, this is a mark. Oh, okay. It's not 30%. I thought there were more threes. I was seeing more threes, but I don't know. I don't think I have another 3 on the board, but I was seeing more threes. It's 33.33% or 33.3%. They're saying it doesn't really matter. 33.3%, which is basically a third, isn't it? Which is quite huge when you think about it, really. But I guess when you look around, there is a lot of people who are really awakened. The first thing I was struck about with this particular reading, I certainly noticed there's a lot of struggle and difficulty cards in here. Particularly these swords here, there's one over here with the wands, there's another one over here with the cups. They're not difficult cards, they're showing what we may like to describe politely as obstacles. And it's funny, as immediately as I saw them, it was like, oh, well, that's not what I was expecting, but actually it probably is. When we go through awakening, spiritual awakening, obviously I'm talking about, we do have these obstacles, don't we? Do I look forward? Do I look back? Is this a gift? Is this a curse? Can I walk away? Should I stay? Can I deal with the people around me, the other people around me? I've changed so much that the world changed, and that's certainly what another thing that I wanted to talk about here as well. And if you're going through your awakening, you'll know it does look like this. Obviously there are ways to handle it that, you know, like I said, it's a process. Once you start to deal with these things in a particular way, it just gets easier and easier and quicker and quicker. Probably easier and easier because it gets quicker and quicker. But a lot of it is change, is walking away, is accepting that it is a gift and being grateful for that gift. What am I being shown, and how can I turn that to my advantage? How can I use this to release beliefs and thoughts from the past, release the lower vibrational beliefs and thoughts, release the lower vibrational energy. And once that's released, obviously replace that with beliefs and thoughts of a higher vibration and energy of a higher vibration, and stay in that more and more consistently, connecting with spirit, and not just kind of like in meditation, or obviously that's where you start, but throughout the day, and bringing that energy connection and bringing that spirit connection into your entire life, into all of your connections and all of your interactions and all of your actions. But it is a struggle, because you have to process all of this, and that really is the first thing that kind of comes to me. And obviously playing your cards close to your chest as well, and just juggling things and letting go of your judgment, which is the advice here, the outcome. You know, not everybody's going to understand what we're going through. As a light worker, as a lifelong light worker, this is certainly how I felt. And I certainly know that other people feel like this as well, that it does kind of leave you as a little bit of an outcast, particularly if you came into a lower vibrational family. And I did a reading just recently on what your ancestors want to say. I've been doing a little bit of ancestral work and kind of breaking that ancestral chain as well. But sorry, what I was getting to was that when we do raise our energy, when we do start the spiritual awakening, alignment and ascension process, it changes our world, and we have to learn to adjust and deal with that. And it will bring up these problems and issues and beliefs and energy from the past. Of course it will. It is going to be that the world around us changes. Now, I've written some notes, some things that I noticed, because when I was kind of, oh, well, what can I kind of look at today? Because I do live in my little spiritual bubble. I've had lots of stuff to do, but I've had lots of awakening to work through as well, and it is working through it. I knew I wanted to do this, like world consciousness update, but there's a lot of other things been coming to my attention as well. I've been noticing a lot of stuff out there about medical gaslighting, and I did want to have a look at that. Medical gaslighting, I think, is, from what I can gather, and this is like medical people talking about this, like doctors, but what they're saying is, like, you know, when you go to the doctor, not that I tried to, although I like anybody who's been following me knows I have been ill recently, and I did have to go. I couldn't deal with it myself. the way that you get treated by the doctor. Now, I wasn't expecting anything different, to be honest, and I'd already gone in there knowing what I was prepared to do and what I wasn't prepared to do, and I wasn't going to argue with anyone. I was just going to, well, I'll do this and I won't do this, and you know, that's the end of it. And some of the comments I got was quite horrific. I'm not saying anyone in particular. I certainly found it really quite horrific being in hospital in terms of the interactions I had. I don't want to go any further than that into it, but you know what I mean. And I know I'm not alone in this, especially after the injection thing. You know, that is still going on. And people, there was something in Australia actually going on with that, isn't it? Is it Pfizer? I nearly said Pfeiffer. Pfizer is being questioned by the Australian Senate. Now, that's obviously a thing, and I watched a little bit of that. I think we finished with this one here, because I do want to kind of get on, because I want to get through as much as I possibly can. Pfizer is being questioned. Oh, thank you. Okay, they are linked. Pfizer is being questioned in the Australian Senate, is it? I saw a little bit of it, and the guy was going full on at this Pfizer representative, which I was quite enjoying. Like, how does it cause all these heart problems? I can't remember the name of the two things that he said. It's causing lots of, how is it? And the guy just would not answer him, and he kept going back and saying, no, I'm asking you, I'm not asking you this, this and this, which is what you're giving me. I'm asking you, which was quite funny. I'll try and retweet that on my timeline. If you want to go to my Twitter, I'll try and find that and retweet it. But also, COVID apparently is back in the UK now, as you know. Let's have a look at the COVID things, because they're saying they are related, yeah? So let's just have a look at what's going on with this. Now, I've heard that it's back in the UK, but there's not been, I have not seen anything actually, like wear your masks, or, because obviously they've taken all the plastic protective things down now. Although it took them a while in the supermarkets. I suppose they've got other things to do, haven't they? But, yeah, so I have heard it's back in the UK, but I have not physically seen anything or had, touch wood, felt any repercussions from this. It's not, there's no masks, there's no lockdown, there's no injections from what I've been told, although I understand that you can buy a test kit or something, although I don't know why anyone would buy a test when you could probably just go to the doctors or whatever and get one free. I don't know. They said to me these are connected. The fact that they're going in hard on Pfizer, and it's been, oh, it's back again in the UK, that they've come at the same time, because obviously, well, as far as I'm concerned anyway, the UK and Australia have a very close relationship. That's how I feel anyway. I don't know how other people feel. Maybe they feel different, but that's how I feel. And I'm just getting, it's kind of like the lies back again. It's kind of thrusting it in people's faces. Now all this has kind of come out about the vaccine, and people have kind of gone through this and said, well, was it really that bad? Was the vaccine worse than the actual illness? That's what I've been hearing and seeing here in the UK. I don't know, I'm not saying that's like a representation of the population, but I do get that they're having another push at this, at trying to wake people up and say, look at the lie, look at the lie. And here we've got the deep state dark cult over here, feeling pretty stuck. Now I've heard that they're really going in hard in the Ukraine to like take out the last remaining ones. They just unearthed an underground facility. I can't even say it. I literally can't even say it. Well, pretty horrific stuff goes on anyway, where what they want is bread. Oh no, I can't even say any more than that. It's just too horrific. Another few things came up as well. The picture with Madeleine McCann's dad with all the guys with the red shoes, that's doing the rounds again, and it's being suggested that she was a sacrifice. I don't know whether that's true or not. That was just gossip. Let's just put a few cards down to that. That's pretty horrific, isn't it? Let's not look too closely at it or it'll bring us down. It's just another tactic right now, they're saying. Yeah, it's just another tactic. It can help open the eyes to a few people, because people in Britain were really affected by the Madeleine McCann disappearance, although obviously the newspapers pushed it quite hard. Like I said, I saw somebody reviewing a Divine film. I did want to have a quick look at Divine. I know we've got bigger fish to fry. I do want to have a look at Donald Trump as well. There was lots and lots and lots going on. Alex Collier is back out, was speaking again. He's picking up publicity. Obviously, David Icke's back out there again. He's picking up publicity. He's getting a lot of attention as well. Like I said, this Divine film's been reviewed, has been reviewed recently as well. And there was a couple of things in the film. I can't remember what film it was. It wasn't the Hairspray one. It was one of the kind of low budget ones she did at the beginning of her career. I did want to look at her, but obviously the big thing is, isn't it, Trump? He's back out there, and we've got, what is it? I can't remember what it's called now. It's the third time he's being, is it indicted? I've probably got that wrong. But let's have a look what's going on with Trump. I also heard something else interesting about Trump as well. Now, I've seen a lot of stuff coming up about Roseanne Barr, and I kind of ignored it because I was like, well, she was famous, wasn't she? Do you know what I mean? She must be one of them. And then I heard someone say that she's been Trump's friend for decades, and she let it slip at an interview. Now, I've not seen this interview. This is just what I've heard, that the laws under the USA is under, I can't think what it's called, military control. I can't think of the word. I'll probably write the word if I find it. I can't think of the word right now. But yeah, so she's been coming out with it as well. Well, there he is, Mr. Trump. Yeah, he had to step back. They all had to step back and let this occur until we reach this tipping point. It was a tipping point, that's what I'm seeing, of spiritual awakening, and now they can kind of come back in and come back in. I don't know what star sign Roseanne Barr is. This is a fire sign woman, but I get this fire sign woman keeps coming up when we ask about Donald Trump, so I know there's probably someone with him who that fire sign lady is. I'll have a look and put a note when I've had a chance to check what star sign Roseanne Barr is, but what they're telling me is she is what they just said to me, she is part of it, but she's always been planned to be part of it as well. So this must have been, I wonder whether she's been in on this for quite a while, because I mean, she must have, like, she was obviously involved with the Deep State Dark Cult at some point, but then Donald Trump probably was as well. I heard he was spotted with, I can't remember his name now. I'll put it on the Epstein, that's it. He was seen with Epstein, and I mean, he's obviously, you know, he's got lots of cash, and he obviously does business with people. So maybe he was in it at one time. I know that when his daughter got married to that that guy who is definitely deep state dark cult. I know he's been heard saying, you know, you came after my family and that was it. I don't know how long they get married. I don't know how long he's been in, or Roseanne Barr, but time to walk away and take action. It's time to walk away from what they were doing and take action. They've got some more tricks up their sleeve here. And I get that a lot of these indictments, because what kicked this all off was, I've been seeing Donald Trump kind of popping up in the news, and then I saw he's put out this advert. I think it's for the next election, and it was all about Joe Biden and his son Hunter. And I know what he's saying is, well, this family are like this, and a lot of it's already known, so it's kind of reiterating what's kind of sunk into the consciousness is what I'm getting. It's already there in the consciousness. That laptop, Hunter Biden's laptop, and it's kind of like bringing all that up again, but like slapping on top of that loads and loads and loads of corruption. But I get, obviously that hasn't been Joe Biden for many a year now. That's been actors. So I get that this all has kind of been set up and they're feeling, right, well, yeah, now it's time to kind of move this forward. I don't think the indictment is a setup. From what I can see, certainly from here, this is that actual deep state dark cult in the legal system, if you like. But certainly what I was told, or I understood, is, and there they are, that, I mean, just what Roseanne Barr said, the US is under military rule, military law. And I don't believe that's Joe Biden, and I do get this is quite timely, and I get they're coming out with a great deal of, like I felt today when I was coming to do this, a great deal of enthusiasm and joy about, oh, it's, you know, it's working, we're moving ahead here. Anyway, I believe that's virtually everything on my list now. I do just want to have a quick look at, no, if they want to say something about what's going on. I'm being given something else. They want to say something about what's going on with Donald Trump and or the military takeover. Oh, they stepped back. When they were told to step back, they had chance to regroup and set up some new strategies. They didn't like stepping back, what they had to. Obviously, they were doing a lot of work in the Ukraine, like I said, unearthing the difficulties in the Ukraine. There's also a lot going on about China as well. I think Joe Biden was accused of some kind of corruption with China as well, which is obviously where the illness originally came from, and let's assume that it did. But so obviously that's another link. So I get it. So the illness thing coming out right now, as soon as Donald Trump is just about to go back to be indicted or whatever it's called, I've got to watch my words, haven't I? It's all happening at the same time. All this stuff is coming out at the same time. The Pfizer in Australia, and the illness back in the UK, and then Donald Trump talking about Joe Biden's corruption and Hunter Biden and the corruption within the legal system, because it's all tied together, isn't it? It's all tied together, and that's why it's all coming out at the same time. The illness, the charge, yeah. Okay, I kind of get that. And they had a chance to step back and make a new plan. And they've just said to me this one's more destructive, but I don't mean in a negative way. I think they just needed to step back so they could reevaluate what they were doing and what... I get it. It's like any awakening, isn't it? You step back and you say, okay, I've got this time, I need to step back and reevaluate things here. What is working and what is not working? How can I adjust this to make it work? So it's like, well, what's worked before? How can we use what's happened already to our advantage? There's a lot of stuff in the collective consciousness now that wasn't there before. Even people who are really strongly standing up, and there's a lot of YouTubers I hear who are saying, you know, the illness was real and anti-vaxxers are crazy and that kind of thing. But there's still a lot in the consciousness about what's happened and what we've experienced, and the financial push as well. I mean, I don't think anybody's happy about that, are they? But what I wanted to look at was, is this everybody talking about medical gaslighting? Because obviously everybody who's been through the illness and the solution to the illness, the proposed solution to the illness that caused more... Well, I won't say any more about that, but you know what I mean. And now they're talking about medical gaslighting. That gaslighting, as far as I know, is a narcissistic term. And I get that this is part of what they stepped back and worked out. Okay, this is part of... When they stepped back, this is part of what they worked out. That there is this issue anyway, and most people have had at least one, more than likely, bad experience of modern medicine or big pharma. And I get what they're bringing, why they're bringing this up, especially after this kind of thing is coming back up with the illness again, and Pfizer and everything. I said Pfizer again, didn't I? It's Pfizer, isn't it? I don't know why I keep calling it Pfizer. This is where they've decided they're going to hit the hardest, because a lot of people have had a lot of distress around this, and they would have had a lot more if obviously the white hats hadn't stepped in and dumbed it down a lot. But a lot of people have been really, really hurt by this, by friends and family being made ill, and a lot of people obviously have been made ill. Plus on top of that, the financial pressures that are on at the moment, particularly just after I mean, it's only been a few years since lockdown ended, hasn't it? So it is part of it. It is when they step back. When they step back, they decided this would be a better strategy to get people to wake up, to use what had happened, the black hat up that they couldn't stop completely, to kind of wake people up a little bit. And there they are. We've got our fire sign woman again. Yeah, absolutely it is. It absolutely is. As far as I'm concerned, it absolutely is. They're telling me it's going to work. Obviously, it's only, and I say this really strongly in my How to Read the Tarot course on my website, starlightworkcircle.com, that this line here is the most likely outcome. Nothing is set in stone. Things can change in an instant. But this at the moment is the most likely outcome. The strength of people and walking away as well. Well, think I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. I really did have such fun. I'm so glad things are moving again, and we had lots and lots to talk about today. I hope you had as much fun as I did. I'm going to keep my eyes open because I get that as much as I can. Obviously, like I say, we've all got our own spiritual awakening to handle, haven't we? And I'm kind of like putting my awakening, ascension and alignment bundled together for my website at starlightworkcircle.com, as I said before. And there he is. Yeah. Moving forward, bringing that information forward. People are going to be upset, they are going to be grieving, but at the end of the day it could have been a hell of a lot worse, couldn't it? But we always knew we were heading towards this awakening, didn't we? This spiritual awakening. It was coming, whatever happened. And obviously once that energy starts to rise, once people start to awaken, the world is going to change, and this is going to go. And that's why they got so scared, and that's why the black cats got so scared, and that's why the black cats created this plan to take down humanity before that happened. But that was never going to happen, because the earth is moving into the towards the golden age. It's we're in the monastic photon belt. That's all in my starseed history of the world, I'm pretty sure, unless I didn't get to that bit, because I wanted to crack on with my awakening, alignment and ascension. Anyway, I'm rambling on again. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really, really glad you did. Things are going really, really well moving forward. Keep on with your spiritual alignment. Keep on moving forwards, and keep your eyes peeled. Thanks for joining me. Bye.